Yo lads, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk about my game I've been playing a lot recently. I think this is the most underrated game of the past couple of years, and I for one, I knew it existed, but I didn't dabble in playing it until around a month ago, and I wholeheartedly, hand on heart, believe this is the most underrated game of this year, possibly the past couple of years. Nice Hunt Showdown. Now, it released in early access in the middle of 2018. I'll be honest, boys, I did not want to pick up any more early access games after Ark Survival Evolved, Rust, Reign of Kings, just a slew of early access games which were just so buggy. I waited until full release came, and I waited for a sale, which was in the middle of August. The game was £17 on Steam, and I took a punt on it. I thought, I've got no games to play at the minute. Warzone's just full of hackers. Call of Duty's unplayable. Battlefield's not out yet. Dying Light's not out yet. Let's try this. And to my surprise, it's actually fucking good. Now, if you've never played a game like this, let me just give you a quick breakdown. Now, Hunt Showdown is a PvE/PvP game. Very similar to Escape from Tarkov. If you've played that, if you haven't, allow me to elaborate. So, you've got duos, quick play, and trios. You can play as a solo, but you will be matched against duos at the minimum. You can turn off teams of 3, so you'll just be like one against other 2s, but you're still at a disadvantage, if that makes sense. Now, when you're on a said map, I believe there's 3 maps at the moment. The same maps can be played at night though, and during fog. The 3rd map only came out a couple of months ago, so people have been waiting a long time for that, so now is the right time to get into the game. It's got the most maps it's ever had, the most enemy types it's ever had, the most bosses it's ever had, the most players it's ever had, so now is just a great time. And if you see it on sale, boys, without even watching the rest of this video, just buy it. You do yourselves a favour. Now, when those players are dropped onto a map, you are then given clues. You collect 3 clues, then you find a boss's location. Now, there's multiple different boss types. There's the spider, the assassin, the butcher, Scrapbeak. I think that's all I can reel off the top of my head. I'm sure someone's going to educate me below. There's more. I've faced all the bosses, obviously. I just can't reel them all off the top of my head. And all the other players which have been dropped onto that map are hunting the same boss. Now, dependent on just how RNG it is, sometimes you'll have 2 bosses on a map. Sometimes you'll have just 1. When there's 1, chaos ensues. Everyone's going for the same fucking boss. People aren't going to be split up, so you're going to get into fights. It's sort of unavoidable in that. When there's 2 bosses, you can have 2 medium-sized bosses, or you can have a large-sized boss and a small-sized boss, which means you get more money and more XP for getting the big boss. The small boss, while you've still accomplished something, you don't get as much money and as much XP. So many people, if there is bosses like that on the said map, they'll go for the large one. Now, this is where the game gets interesting, in my opinion. I'll be honest, lads, it's a bit of a slog for the first 10 hours. I was playing it, I was getting absolutely smashed. My KD was 0.2, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I was playing with randoms. Now, my quick tip for people who have never played this game before: do not play with randoms. Because when you talk in game, everyone within 15 metres or 20, 25 metres can hear you. If you type in the game, everyone near you can see that. It's not just you and your team, which makes for some mouse and cat-like moments. If you're talking in the game and you're not on Discord and you're with randoms, those people will be hunting you from your voices, and you'll find yourself quickly dying, which is the mistake I made. And then I finally joined the official Discord server and started playing with people from there. That's definitely what you should do, lads. Don't make my mistake of going so bad, and I was like, damn, I'm so bad at this game. I've managed to get my KD up to a 0.9 right now, lads. And trust me, it's not the easiest game, but I've got a lot better over the past week or so. I think once you've hit about 30 hours played, the game just becomes a whole nother experience. It becomes enjoyable. Fights are fun, and when you do get into fights, they can be pretty tense, and they can last for 20 minutes plus. If you're a camper and then you come across a camper, holy shit, the firefights will last forever. Unless you push in with a shotgun or throw some dynamite in or something. That's kind of how it goes, lads. Now, I would be remiss if I said this game didn't reward camping. it kind of does. Now you've got a match time. I think that's 50 minutes when you start, so people can camp for a long time. And if they're playing solos in duos, they'll tend to camp. I sort of did that in this game because you sort of handicapped. You've got to use something like a shotgun where you can quickly disperse 2 enemies. Now what makes this game even more interesting is it's set in the late 1800s. So the weaponry you've got, there's no modern gadgets, there's no laser dot sights, there's no long range snipers. You've got Springfields, old shotguns, old revolvers, old semi-automatic pistols, dynamite, Molotov cocktails, and trip mines, things like that. It makes it a lot more interesting. At first I thought, oh, this sucks, we're using old guns and stuff. I didn't know exactly what guns to use. You've got lever action rifles, but once you get used to it, boys, it's fucking real fun. I'm gonna put some of my kills over the past couple of weeks on screen, and so you can judge for yourself when you get into the firefights, see how sort of tense they get. And when you've killed someone, it's so rewarding. But this isn't a game for people who like just play Call of Duty and like respawning constantly. Now, until level 9, if you lose a hunter, they do not die. You'll keep them back. But once you've got past level 9, if your hunter dies in game, you get killed. That hunter's gone forever. You then have to purchase another one, very similar to Escape from Tarkov, but not as cruel. Now then you can use coins and buy another hunter. You've also got legendary hunters, which are just skins, basically. Now when it gets interesting is you've got traits. Now you can level a hunter up to level 50, then they're at max level, and you can retire them and get a huge XP boost and push yourself towards prestige. Now if you don't retire that hunter and then you go into another match at level 50 with tons of perks on, and you die, well, that hunter's gone. You can't retire him. You've lost your massive chance of getting an XP boost. That's where the choices that you make really impact the way you play. Now if you go into a game with level 1 hunter, it's got no perks, unless you get like a tier 3 hunter. You're basically handicapped, but tier 3 hunters are the most expensive. Now from what I've found so far, there's no pay to win in this game, which is great. Graphically it looks fantastic. I don't run it at max settings, but I actually want some frames per second. I haven't got the latest graphics card, and I run it at 1440p. But I run it on medium-ish settings, and it still looks fantastic. Lads, I am yet to find a game which offers this intense of firefights, while feeling not so scary to die, but also like, oh shit, I don't want to die. You've just spent 1,000 on a gun. Lots of people don't use that expensive guns in game because they are scared of dying. But if you use, like, you've got shitloads of expensive gear and you've got level 50 on, you're like, well, fuck, I really don't want to die. But it comes with a little twist. Lots of people run in like that and think, oh shit, I don't want to die, and then they'll crawl around the map, as I'm doing a little bit right now, because they are scared of dying. But then you've got people that just like, nah, fuck that, I'm just pushing everything, which is kind of how I play. I like just pushing everything, especially if I am running a trios or a duos. I always think, well, I can get picked back up. But in one sense, if you get knocked down, you also lose. You've got little chunks of health bars called hit points. If you die or get knocked down, it's not like Gears of War or Call of Duty when you get pulled up, you're just back to normal, like nothing's ever happened. You've lost that bar permanently for the rest of the game, rest of that match, unless you kill the boss, and then all your HP gets generated back to 100. But if you've like got into firefights after you've killed the bosses and you lose that chunk, it's gone until you finish the game if your hunter survives, and then you can buy back each hit point for a certain amount of cash. So I really enjoy the way the game works, and it rewards different play styles. Like, you've got tons of different guns, 4 different play styles. If you're aggressive and you want to just push everything, shotgun's right for you, the double-barreled shotgun. There's multiple types of shotgun. If you like staying at a certain distance, lever action rifle's right for you. If you like just sitting in a fucking little tower and sniping, well, sniper rifles are for you. There's tons of ways to play this game, which is why I like it. If you don't want to kill the boss, you want to wait for someone else to kill the boss, wait for them to kill the boss, then run in, mop them up, take the bounty, and then extract. But while you're extracting, people can also attack you. It takes 30 seconds to extract, and if someone runs in and gets so close, the extraction gets stopped until the firefight has concluded. If they stay their distance, you can still manage to extract, and lots of people, they'll be next to you and they won't even come close enough to stop you extracting. You're like, why did you do that? Now, this game uses a sort of skill-based matchmaking. I know COD players are like, oh, but it works in a sense. The lowest star I've seen is a 2. You've got 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 and 6. I don't know if there's a 7. I'm currently sitting at 4. I'm not the best player, but I'm alright. But as soon as you get put up to a 5 or 6, the difference in players is remarkable. I had a 5 star on my team and a 6 star, and I was just getting put against players that were headshotting me before I'd even noticed where they were. And I'm playing on a 27-inch 1440p monitor. And holy shit, these guys just like, they'll notice the faintest sound, do a 360 and headshot you. Now that brings me on to another thing in this game. The sound is huge. It's one of the best audio experiences that I've ever had in a game. Now if someone is screaming down the mic on Discord, arguments are up because you start telling each other to shut the fuck up. I'm trying to listen if someone's near me, because people do what I'm doing right now. They'll crawl around, they'll go really quiet. So if you step over a twig, you go near crows, anything, it alerts people. The audio presence is very important. This is one of the games where I've seen audio used the most. It's like Warzone's audio. If it wasn't broken and actually worked, and the directional audio worked, in this game you can easily tell which direction people are coming from. If you've got a good set of headphones or some good speakers, you'll fucking love this game. Now at the minute, boys, this is my favourite game of 2021. It's not Warzone. There's been no real good releases this year. I know this is a few years old right now, but it's the best it's ever been. There's so much content in the game. If you love PvP games, you love Escape from Tarkov, you love Call of Duty, you may even like this. I'm not sure about casual Call of Duty players. If you're a hardcore COD fan, you play for the last 10 years, you want something a bit more hardcore, pick up Hunt. You can get it for £25 on Steam, $40. It's a fucking bargain. There's so much content in the game. You like PvE, get the game. You love PvP, get the game. If you're just a pure PvP person, you want to play solos, you can always play quick play. You get put in with random weapons, you don't pick your weapons, and you fight over the wellspring. Once you've got that, try and keep it for as long as possible, but everyone's coming for you. If you've got some friends and want to jump in and play trios. Got one friend, play duos. You'll have a fucking blast, boys. I'm telling you now, Hunt Showdown is the most underappreciated game of the past 3 years. Crytek have done a fantastic job. Congrats to you, Crytek. You've made a great game. Probably at a quarter of the budget Call of Duty costs, and the graphics are better and the sound is better. Anyway, boys, that is it from me. If you enjoyed this video and you want more content like this, not just Call of Duty stuff, please hit thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. I love you all, and I will see you all in the next one. And if you buy Hunt and you want to play with me, you can always add me on Steam. My link to my Steam group is down below in the description. Peace, boys.
These girls wanna tie a kid down and keep me around, but I would never change. I'm a dog, I'm a hound, but I tell them what they wanna hear. They like how it sounds till I'm gone with the wind and I'm lost, never found. I met her at my show, then we smashed right after. If we go 3 rounds, then she fall in love faster. Very next morning, I'm Casper in another city for a show, somewhere getting plastered. It's a disaster. To her, I'm a drug. I do her kinda